Welcome back to another episode of Just a Tip, where we talk about the shit that everyone's thinking but no one is saying. In this episode, we sit down with Will Thompson, the bartender's bartender. Miami-born, military background, worked his way up the hard way, and earned his respect behind the bar. We get into the real side of hospitality in the city, how neighborhood bars actually survive, why community matters now more than ever, and how insane rent, constant inspection, and city politics keep making it harder for local restaurants to stay standing. Will doesn't sugarcoat shit. We talk about what makes a great bar, what separates real hospitality from fake vibes, and why places like Broken Shaker actually changed the game, and why it's so important to keep that culture. This one's about loyalty, transparency, and calling bullshit when the system starts squeezing the people that are actually putting in the work. And as a side note, this episode is dedicated to Danny Benavente. Rest in peace, buddy. Let's get into it. This episode of Just a Tip is brought to you by Rooftop Solutions. So the craziest thing happened. You might have even seen it in the news. A restaurant in Wynwood had to shut down for years after a leaky roof caved in. Imagine all that money, time, momentum gone just because the roof wasn't handled right. And that's why I always recommend Rooftop Solutions. They've been protecting homes and businesses all over Miami-Dade and Broward for over 20 years. They're local, based in Hialeah, and they take pride doing the job with honesty and craftsmanship so your roof stands the test of time. And here's the deal. If you got a leak, they will patch it for free while prepping your roof to be replaced. So unless you want to add a lazy river in your dining room, call Rooftop Solutions, tell them Felix sent you.
So today, it does not get better than the guest I have. If you don't know this person, then you are not in hospitality. If you do not know this person, you are not part of the Miami culture. This is a man who I am proud to call a friend, an advocate, a pioneer. He is the bartender's bartender. This is an outspoken man who I've never seen back down from anyone, or from an argument, or from helping his community. If you do not know Will, you better start to. And today we're going to get a first peek, and we're going to introduce you to him firsthand. Today, my guest is the one, the only Will Thompson. Will, what's up, brother?
Hey, I want my entire staff to hear that intro, and remember that. I need a turtle shell myself back into. That's crazy.
That's it, bro.
Thank you for that. Wow.
I mean, honestly, listen, I'm super hyped that you were gracious enough to come on. You are one of the few that are in the trenches. You mean what you say what you mean. There's no fucking cookie cutter bullshit with you. You have, stood up, and I've watched you tell it how it is. And I think that's why I was, so eager to have you on, because you're one of the few guests that can do that, kind of like me, and not really give a shit. And I respect you so much, and, ahead of time, and thank you for everything you do for the community. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being a master of your craft. So I just wanted to do a deep dive with you and get to know Will Thompson. First of all, for those of you watching, we have two Will Thompsons in the city. As this Will says, we have a brown Will and we have a white Will.
Yeah. Shout out Boston.
Shout out.
Shout out Boston.
Shout out.
That's my dog.
Will, we love you, buddy. Keep rocking. So, I guess let's start from the beginning. Where are you from?
Oh, man. So I'm a Miami boy through and through, right? I love the city. I was born, I'm from a pretty deep military family.
Yep.
Right. I'm fifth generation military, and I was born on base in Panama.
Wow.
Right. But I mean, I got here. English is my first language, and I got over here, and I'm here, learning Spanish in my
Right.
Right. I grew up in Hialeah, my earlier years, and then my later wilder years were in Little Havana, back in the little Shenandoah, Silver Bluff, Little Havana area. That's where I was making trouble. And learning how to be a degenerate.
I love it. I mean, listen, if you're not a degenerate, you didn't make it, bro.
That's right. Yeah, I was walking over to the Coconut Grove in those years, and seeing what the big
you were
kids
that brave.
Oh yeah.
Jeez, jeez, bro.
I love my neighbors. That's when you're a kid, you're bulletproof. Right. You don't see any of that shit.
Right.
You just see, I'm gonna go walk for the next 35, 45 minutes, and then I'm gonna go see what the big kids are doing at Club 609 or at the Chili Pepper or at Mr. Mo's. And then, you're looking into the future like, I can't wait to be there.
You know what? I am so interested. First of all, that fascinated me. I actually didn't know about you. But what I did know about you, obviously after stalking you a little bit, I did not know that you were in the military.
Yes.
You were one of the few people I think would be the last people in the military, and you stepped up right away.
Yeah, dude, I love structure and I hate structure all at the same time.
How did that happen?
Man, it really happened the way it happens, I think, for most people, which is out of necessity.
Right.
Right. I was young. I didn't know how the world worked. I didn't know how loans work and school works and stuff. And I was so afraid of getting into debt and going through those hoops for college.
Right.
That once I hit like my, once I got my associates and they're like, cool, no grants, no scholarships, no nothing. Now, now you got to pay. I was like, well, how the hell am I going to do this? Right. And one of the things that I try to do now is be a mentor to the younger men, right, and women, sure, right, but the younger men, and allow them to get out of their their blinders, right, their horse blinders, and get out of that narrow vision and allow them to understand that there are options and opportunities if the right people are around you. Right, there's opportunities everywhere. It's just how to look for not be afraid of things, and you're afraid of shit because you don't know. Right. And at that time, I was afraid of shit because I didn't know. But what did I know? My entire family, military. Right. Hey, there you go.
So they were super supportive. They were
nah,
supportive.
hell no.
Really? Okay.
No, they were like, well, they weren't supportive because I was going to the Marines originally. Right. And they were like, yo, what are you doing?
You're taking it a little too far, right?
Yeah, dude, 9/11 happened like yesterday. No, you're not going to the Marines. And I was like, but the few, the proud. Right.
You were pro-USA, America.
Yeah, dude. And I was also like, if you're going to do something, you go to the, where I viewed as the best, the hardest, right? The craziest. I was doing the pulley meetings on the side. And what I didn't know was after I took my ASVAB, I got a pretty nice score. I got a 93 on my ASVAB.
Nice.
And the other branches pull that information too. And I got a random call from this guy. Shout out to Sergeant Granberry.
Wow.
And he hit me up and he was like, hey, we offer bonuses and you can choose your job. I go, excuse me? What's a bonus? What does that mean?
Right.
That means money. Like we'll give you money to come here.
Right.
And I go, I thought that's what being paid means. They're like, no, on top of being paid, we're gonna give you some more money. And again, you're an impressionable kid. Your value all of a sudden went up. And again, this comes from not having mentorship, not having people around me that go, hey, you have value, you have worth. Right? Understand that you have options. These people came to me, told me I had options. I went to the recruiter at the Marines. And he was like, nah, we can't do any of that. What? It's like, no bonuses, no, we can't give you a choice of your job. But you get to be a Marine. And I was like, kind of looked over and I was like, I mean, you're right. But,
they're great at pep talks.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
They're the best salespeople.
They're the
Those
hardest.
recruiters are the best salespeople.
And I said, I'm going to have to go to the Air Force. Thank you. I appreciate it. I had no idea this option was available, and I went over. And then my family was happy. Right. Because all my uncles who were in the military were like, yeah, the Marines, that's tough. This is a tough time to go, into infantry and stuff like that. They're like, why don't you try the Navy, the Air Force? It's like, nah, you old men don't know what you're talking about. And sure enough, they knew what they were talking about.
But you wound up as a medic, right?
I was a medic in the Air Force, man. I was a medic in the Air Force.
How did that even, how did you go from wanting to be, go to the Marines to becoming a medic in the Air Force?
Everybody in my family, everybody, right? My grandma, mom, they all wanted me to be a doctor. Right? That's the, you're in the States, the American dream, doctor, lawyer, right? Engineer, architect, like one of those cool little things that you get to show off your kid. And that's why, that's why I jumped in there.
Well, you became a spirit pharmacist. So, that's almost the same thing, right?
I was a pharmacy tech before that too. I worked at Walgreens. Thank you, Walgreens, for giving me a shot. Right.
I would fucking pay anything to see you in that outfit.
My little vest and
your
stuff,
little blue
right?
vest.
Shaved. I think I had braces. Right? So, not a care in the world.
So now, how did how did the journey start into hospitality? I know what I heard. I heard some fucking crazy rumor that can't be true. I heard you worked at P.F. Chang's.
Oh, I did work at P.F. Chang's, dude.
Yeah,
hey, shout
out of here.
Shout out Mongolian beef, dude.
Dude, solid.
Those
Great Wall chocolate, those banana spring rolls,
that's where I learned. That's where I learned about family meal.
Right.
These guys should throw down and make mixes back there that weren't on the menu. and then you spoil us, and then later on we're ordering that shit instead. Let me get a little Mongolian beef and kung pao chicken or kung pao shrimp combo. And these guys are like, hey, that's just for family meal.
I mean, dude, back in the day in Boston, we would fucking get super baked, go to fucking eat some shabu, and then like dessert. Yeah, bro, P.F. Chang's, Great Wall of Chocolate, banana spring rolls. It's a wrap.
Great Wall of Chocolate. All those banana spring rolls are fire.
Fire.
And I tricked my kids into expanding their palate with the fried calamari, the salt and pepper calamari that they had.
Yep.
I just used to, hey, we lie to our kids. That's it. It is what it is. My parents lied to me. I'm going to lie to them. Sorry, kids. Everybody lies. That's fine. Right? But now you like calamari, so you're welcome.
So let me tell you guys something I see all the time. You take over a second-gen space, you think it's turnkey, but the second you walk in, it's not exactly what you need. Maybe the bar layout doesn't flow, maybe the kitchen's a little outdated, or the bathrooms look like they haven't been touched since the 90s. That's why I tell all my clients, you need to call Brodson Construction. Whether you're building from the ground up or not, you still need the finishing touches done right. Brodson's been local and family-run since 1989. They're the top 1% in Florida, and they've handled everything from luxury homes on Star Island to some of Miami's best retail and restaurant spaces like LPM, Cipriani, Hillstone, Bell Harbor, just to name a few. Bottom line, don't settle for nickel and dime contractors who might underbid the work to win the job up front and screw you over in the end. Brodson maintains integrity every step of the process to build enduring relationships and never exploit clients. So remember, if you're going to build, call Brodson Construction.
So how did you start there as a server?
So the way that happened is when I came back from the Air Force, we all need a job. And I used to work at Starbucks.
Right. This is before. Okay, shit. All right.
Yeah, in the biz,
dude. You were in it, bro. Bro, that's real boot camp, bro. You don't need the Marines,
so
bro.
my first in the biz job, right? It was on I remember to this day, right? October 10th, 99. My mom's birthday. It was my gift to her.
Okay.
Here you go. You're gonna pay less bills, which obviously wasn't true. I'm sure she ended up paying more.
Right.
But I got a job.
Okay.
And I got a job at TGI Fridays.
Got it.
Shout out to the legend, Freddie Diaz. I got to work with amazing people in this industry. I don't know if you know, like Phil Candorish, who's a brain in this industry, right? Mr. Molecular Mixology here in Miami.
Right.
I got to be around people like that.
Right.
But I was a busser.
Right.
I was 15.
Well, you had to start from the beginning, right?
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on, right? I just knew that the parties were awesome after work.
Right.
Right. I was a 15, 16-year-old with the other 15, 16-year-olds, just watching the adults do their wild shit. And that's where I got that's where I dipped my toe in hospitality, right? From there, I became a host and then finally a server.
I'm sure you've seen some shit there.
Yeah, I can't talk about that.
Obviously.
I can't talk about that shit. I can't talk about that shit.
Well, this is just a tip. So any advice you have for people working in those type of restaurants, man, I'm sure it would be appreciated.
Well, you know what? Advice that I would have for anybody working on those things, right? Don't talk about what you did. That's it. Shh. Enjoy. We're in this, especially in this social media culture. You want to share everything. Just keep it in here.
Right.
Keep it here with them. Keep it here with them. Or know that if you do talk about it, right? No matter how much you trust this person, and they could be your best friend, and it's fine, right? But you can't control the shit that they do.
Right.
They're gonna talk.
You know what?
They're going to talk about that girl. They're going to talk about that guy.
That's right.
They're going to talk about who did that line or whatever, right? And they're going to talk about it. So, prepárate. It's coming back.
Who didn't call me when they were doing that line?
Yeah.
Right. So, actually, since you touched the TGI Fridays, I kind of want to run something past you. So, it's interesting. Over the last year, everybody thought TGI Fridays, Chili's, all those concepts were like dead in the water because of concepts like sweet greens but now the fact that sweet green salads are up to $25, all of a sudden, like TGI Fridays and companies like Chili's, their old clientele base is coming back now.
You said a salad for $25?
Yeah, man.
I hate it here.
I mean, but it's not just here, it's everywhere,
$25 for a salad? Yeah, por favor, like I said, no, people are, we used to do this thing, and we got to get back to it, man. We got to get back to this. My boys and I, we used to go to Chili's in Bayside once a month, right?
One of the highest grossing, yeah.
Right? For like an afternoon lunch.
Right.
And it was like, let's touch on subjects that aren't just like UFC, girls, sports, whatever, right? Let's just sit down, have a fucking ironic fun, like, hey, 2-for-1, Long Islands or whatever, right? Or not drink at all, depending, but we got a ton of value.
Right.
Ton of bang for our buck. We're there 2 hours, right? talking about our lives, right? Like
Right.
having a healthy discourse, which I think men should do a ton more, right? And we're having these very valuable conversations. And when the bill came, it was maybe like $25 a person.
Right.
It was like 5 or 6 of us, and we ate,
Right.
we drank, right? And so shout out to them because let's match the tip.
Do you feel like that's why these concepts are catching fire again? People want to get back to that.
I think people want
Value.
value. They want value. They want value, right? The place isn't messy,
Right.
right? There's a specific structure. They care. They're checking in on you, right? Again, this isn't Michelin rated food,
Right.
right? But that's not the average person is not going to a Michelin rated spot anyway.
Right.
We're fucking hitting up DoorDash and Uber Eats and all that stuff at the end of the night. We're getting our favorite local place because we want, a little value, a little bang for a buck. And we don't want to hate the thing we're eating.
Right.
We're having fun. Beside them Southwest egg rolls are fire.
Fire.
Right? Those I'm not a boneless chicken wing guy. That's crazy. But if I'm gonna have them, they're there.
Right.
They were fire, they were good. And the way my brain works is, I don't know if you go to a restaurant. It cool. If it sounds good, awesome. I'm gonna order it. But does the price match what I ate?
Right.
Right? It goes with everything, right? With our cars, with our clothes.
Right.
Does the price match the value of what you're getting?
And I think that's
I'll pay a
why
fucking-
Miami's been really pissed lately.
Yeah, dude, I'll drop some, this is a bad habit from my boy Adrian,
Right.
right? But we'll drop crazy money on food and an experience, right? But it has to match.
Yep.
Right? It can't just be because the place is popular or
Right.
because
Or they have James Bond in the bathroom.
oh my God.
Okay, so TGI Fridays, you started, learning the craft. You learn how the business works. You know who the players are.
Well, yeah, so that's what kind of like taught me like to really talk to people.
Right.
Right?
Get comfortable.
Yeah, because even as a busser,
Right.
You still have to say hi and bye to everybody, right? We had to wear those stupid ass hats. I don't know if you remember those days
I
of
love
the
it.
flare.
The flare, bro.
The flare, like that shit from Office Space.
Absolutely, bro.
Right? Like legit, I had suspenders, that polo with the stripes.
Yep.
I had a cat in a hat, right?
Right.
Walking around thinking I'm fucking Jamiroquai. I don't know.
Love Jamiroquai.
Yeah, I don't know who I thought I was at that time, right? But I was having a blast.
Right.
And then everybody there, it's where I saw kind of like that nomadic family unit.
Yep.
Even if we were pissed at each other, we're all taking care of each other.
Right.
Right. It's like playing on a football team or something, right? In the middle of the shit, in the middle of the game, you may get frustrated with this person not playing their part, and you start understanding if you play your part,
Yep.
the whole thing works together,
Right.
right? And then afterwards, the family dynamic, because most of these people are nomadic, they're transients, they're coming from somewhere else, right? And they may not have somewhere to go. And I think that's really where I started developing my love for the culture of this, because again, I don't have a ton of family here either.
Right.
And I started seeing that if you have honest conversations, if you can really look out for people.
Right. And so it became more of a community than anything.
100%.
Right.
Right off the bat. One of the hosts, Marshall, I remember that guy. He left a long impression. This man had worked at that spot probably for 20 years.
Yep.
As a host. He loved his job. He loved what he did. He liked taking care of people. He was always in a great mood, even when he wasn't.
Right.
Right. And he was just, he would show me things like, this is a choice. Like, I could come here and be an asshole about things, right?
Right.
Or I could come in here and just try to enjoy my life. He goes, life is still waiting for me outside.
Right.
That's not going to change. And then, you see that if you do your best, you learn from other people's shit. So you see like the people that aren't taking it seriously, the people that are taking it seriously, the people that are taking it too seriously, right? The corporate structure. But at the end of the day, I was a kid. I didn't give a shit.
Did you eventually get behind the bar there, or that was at PF Chang's?
That was at PF Chang's. So that was after, because I went to when I came back from the Air Force, I started working at Starbucks, which I worked at before I left. So it was 2009, right? 2008, 2009. And I don't know if you remember the economy back then.
Not great. It was not great. Real estate market was destroyed in 2008, and people were just recovering from that.
You couldn't buy a job.
Right.
Legit. If I had $1,000 in my pocket and be like, yo, can I get this job? They like.
And it's also not Miami today. There was way less neighborhoods. It wasn't like.
Oh, there wasn't shit.
Right.
Back then, I remember I tried to get a job at the ale house. I couldn't get a job at the ale house.
The ale house.
Because I was allegedly, what was I doing? I was cherry picking my answers, because they give you like some type of like personality test.
Right.
Or whatever. And they're like, you're cherry picking your answers. I was like, I don't know what that means. I just know that that's my answer. But I couldn't get a job anywhere. And you were getting jobs at places like that because they were always packed.
Right.
Value.
Yeah.
I didn't connect that at that time, right? I see it now. But I got a job at Starbucks. They were really great employers. At the end of the day, they the psychology behind the way they treat you, right? Like they call you partner.
Right.
They don't call you employee or whatever, right? So it feels nice, partner.
Right.
Right. You know, you get to taste things. They encourage you going to school. They encourage you learning about their brand, and not just their brand, like their coffees. You used to have to sit down, little passport, right? Once a shift, you have to brew your coffee on a French press.
Yep.
Right? You got to sit down. You got to write notes, and that prepared me later for the shit that I do now. Right?
Interesting.
It wasn't hitting me.
Right.
Right? Because they would you know, come up to you and say shit like, all right, cool. I get it. It tastes dirty, right? Let's find a more positive way to say that. And I'm like, how the fuck do you say it tastes dirty better? Oh, earthy.
Earthy. Burnt.
Earthy, right? And I didn't mean dirty. I mean it tastes like dirt, right? Like
peaty, dirty.
It tastes like the ground at that moment. I wasn't finding stuff, but if you do it so much, and then you start like your brain just automatically, even if you're not even trying, starts to pick up stuff. And then one day I just hit this kind of tastes like earth and blueberries.
Right.
And they're like, oh shit, yeah. yeah, you got it. And I go, what? It's grown next to blueberries. I go, oh shit, get the fuck out of here. If you grow this next to shit, it tastes like that stuff. Right. And they're like, yes. I'm like, oh man, I didn't know coffee could do that.
Right.
I thought you just had to put sugar in this the entire time. I mean, to this day, I drink all my coffee black.
Me too. Yep.
Because of that, right? Because I like finding the taste, and they would make you pair it with some type of dessert or some type of pastry that's there, right? And that was part of your job. You know, at the time, you're like, work sucks. You know, again, but going back, you're like, that's not bad. Dude. I get to sit down for, 20, 30 minutes, sip a little coffee.
Right.
I would kill for that right now.
So that was kind of your first lesson. Okay, so now you're done with Starbucks.
Well, not just done with Starbucks. At Starbucks, while I was still there, right? This is the connection to P.F. Chang's. I worked the bar.
The bar, like the barista.
Right? But the barista is like the guy who works at the bar is the guy who's making your drinks.
Right.
So I worked at a 24-hour one of the first 24-hour ones in Miami. It was down south. I had all the Pinecrest moms and all the Palmetto Bay moms every morning at 6 a.m. dropping off their kids at school at Coral Reef or whatever. Right? And my job was to get these drinks out as fast as possible. Right. You're working the bar. Right. And back in my days, God, I'm old. I hate saying that now. But back then, it wasn't button and go. It was, you have to grind the coffee to the specific grind for the style of coffee that you're doing, right? Espresso versus the cappuccino versus your latte, right? I have to look at the temperature. I have to pull the coffee at the right amount of time, right? So when I press the button for it to actually work, after I grind the coffee, pound the coffee, put this bad boy in there, I have to make sure that it's within the X amount of seconds. Right. There was a lot of details that came to it, or else it's too bitter, right? Or too watery, or too thick, right? So I'm doing this with 6 different, machines at the same time, right? With 3 different frothers, right? Just steamers, right? Too much air, too little air, too much milk, too little milk, right? Running around. This bitch says 3 Splendas, but the other girl's like, I said 3.5, and this obviously tastes like 4, and I'm like, right? Learning how to do that and not freak out.
With soccer moms all yelling, "Where's my drink? Where's my drink?"
Oh my God! Well, I mean, with soccer moms flirting with me,
well,
you guys are crazy.
It could be worse. It could be worse.
It could be worse. Right. That was the fun part. I'm not a fun. These now, and I say this, with all due respect, right? Viejas, right? Because they were viejas to me, which is crazy. I'm in my 20s, and a 35-year-old is a vieja. That's crazy. But at that time, that's
exciting, bro.
It's exciting.
Right.
You're getting a ton of attention, and I'm in a great mood, right? And I'm getting all this stuff done. P.F. Chang's was closed for renovations at that time.
Right. Which location was this?
US 1 and 136, the Falls.
Right.
Down south, right? And they're closed for renovations, and they're there every day, but I don't know. I just know that these guests are coming in, and I'm doing my best to take care of the guests. And as I'm in the middle of the shit in the morning, guy comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, would you like to be a bartender? And I go, what? I'm in the middle of my stuff. I go, wait, what? Yeah, would you like to be a bartender? We have a position available. We're reopening our spot, right? We'd like you to, come in and all you have to do is fill out an application. Our office is right next to this while we're doing the remodeling. And I'm like, be a bartender? Well, hold on, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, come to BF Chang's, right? And make drinks. I'm like, that sounds really cool. At that time, I had no idea how much money bartenders made. I was in school. I was focused with whatever I was doing. And I looked over at him. I go, that's cool, but like, I don't have a bartender's license. And my man, John, just looked at me and he was like, you're pretty. And I said, thanks, dude. I didn't even get it at that moment. I was like, I appreciate it. Like, I don't like dudes, but like, I'll take a compliment.
Right.
Yeah, please, dude.
So I guess
Please.
that's a huge, that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about today. It's a big misconception. A lot of people think that you need a bartender's license to bartend in Miami.
Nah. God, I wish. We cut a lot of dumb motherfuckers if there was at least a step beforehand. But no, I mean, because I would have been one of those idiots. No, but he liked.
And they're making money. I mean, they're making these schools who like pretty much imply that you need this license for any place to be legally.
I thought that too, right? And again, it just wasn't something that was in my. For some reason, there was
all the noise, right?
I don't know. It just wasn't in my brain. Like, hey, maybe I should go to a bartending school or whatever, right? No, I'm going to school already.
Right.
I don't need some more shit to study, and I just need to pay my bills.
A lot of you know me from my F&B Miami page, but what you might not know is that I also run Florida's largest restaurant real estate brokerage called F&B Hospitality. Every week I meet somebody that thought that they could just wing it on a restaurant lease. And every week on F&B Miami, you guys see how that turns out. And that is exactly why I started F&B Hospitality Brokerage. We treat our clients' money like it's our money. We don't say things just to say it or paint pretty little pictures. We go based on facts and numbers. If we don't like a deal, location, or permit status, we are absolutely not afraid to tell you. It's about setting you up to last. So you could focus on food and foodies while we negotiate the build out and the terms.
Did you have a mentor there? Was there somebody who kind of like took you under their wing? Considering you went from coffees to liquor. I mean, liquor, if you mix the wrong combo and you could read the book, you could read the recipes, but
I still have. Damn, I should have brought that shit. I
still have the original book.
I'm gonna send you a picture. I still have my. I'm a sucker for nostalgia. Right. It's why.
Bro, who's not?
I'm a sucker for it. Right. And so I still have my P.F. Chang's beverage book and beverage guide. Shout out to the Chang's Mai Tai. I still throw down every once in a while. But I had somebody who I definitely respected there. Her name was April. She was younger than me.
Right.
And she told me, she goes, I'm the hot girl. Of course, I got a bartending gig before the older guys.
Be honest, you bang her?
Huh?
You bang
her? No, 0%. 0%.
Because it sounded, there was a lot of compliments right 0%.
There.
So,
Did I want to? Sure.
Okay, so there we go.
Sure,
right.
that's.
So you listened to everything she said, obviously.
Yeah. I did. I mean, she knew what she was doing, and not only there's a difference between somebody who like knows what they're doing and somebody who shows that, who lives it, who exudes it, right? When you see how cocky they are and how arrogant they are, cool, right? Anybody can be, anybody can be cocky, right?
Right.
But when you actually watch them in the shit and the way they handle stuff, right? And how easy and effortless they make it look, you're like, oh, especially when this shit's not easy to do.
Well, how long did it take you to pick it up? Like, how long did it take you to like really know what you're doing?
What I love about them is that they made you do they made you do all the stupid little things.
Right.
It's a corporate environment.
In terms of measuring and
not just measuring. I wasn't allowed to make a drink for the first 30 days. I had to study, right? I could pour beers if they asked. And I had to learn to open all the wine bottles and pour all the wine at service bar. I had to do service bar, right? But I couldn't do the drinks at service bar. I could only do beers if I was allowed to, and opening up wine bottles. Keep on. That muscle memory. Hey, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. This is how we do it.
How much do you think you learned there in terms of?
I learned a ton of structure there.
Right.
I liked the structure that I learned from that place. I think had it been the other way around, I would have had too many bad habits. But I think they taught me a ton of good habits. They just, with all due respect, they're not bartenders.
Right.
They're not bartenders. But structure is something that I don't give a fuck how good of a bartender you are or how cool your molecular whatever is or whatever your clarified thing is. If you don't have discipline, if you don't have structure, that's just gonna bite you in the ass later.
But was that really the last time you're like, fuck this, I'm done with corporate jobs? Like, or did we not have a plan?
No, I didn't have a plan. It's kind of like how life goes, right?
Right.
It brings you your next opportunity, whether you like it or not. And when I left there, I went to a yacht and country club.
Oh, okay.
That shit was fire. That shit was fire. The yacht and country club was fun. It was really buttoned up, right? Like, tie,
Right.
vest, white long sleeve shirt, press your
No
stuff.
fear of God sweatshirts.
No. I couldn't. Back then, 0%, right?
Right.
No, you better. I had hair, so make sure your hair is nice, right? You're coming in, you're smiling, and there's no money exchanged. It's a country club.
Right. So everything's on membership. Everything's
on.
right.
And that was such a weird world to me. That's such a strange world. People coming in, you got to know their last names. 3 of them have the same last names, right? So when you choose their name, they're like, I'm not that Goldberg. I'm this Goldberg.
Right.
I was like, my guy.
And they get offended.
Of course.
Right.
Of course. I don't know who you guys are, right? But they called the 2 black dudes that worked with us, both of them were Isaac. That shit. That's real life. They both of them. It's just like, oh, Isaac. I go,
Right.
this guy's brand new, dude. Isaac's been here 10 years. Y'all don't know the difference? And that was crazy to me. Right. But we weren't there to get offended. We were there making money. We were making money.
Right.
We were making money.
So you were happy there. You were pretty happy there.
I was solid. I was content out there. We were doing cool shit in the morning, golf tournaments, whatever, right? And what I liked was I came from corporate, right? So I'm measuring everything.
Right.
Everything had to be, perfect. I didn't want to get in trouble. At the end of the day, it's CYA, cover your ass and make sure that everything's done right. And then the only complaints I would get is like, oh, he's measuring stuff.
Right. From the guests.
From the guests. I was like, yeah. Inventory. Of course I have to measure stuff, right? And the manager just, one day comes up to me, he goes, but these guys pay like 80 grand a year to be here. Who gives a shit?
Right.
Pour it.
Right.
I'm like, what? That did something horrible to my brain. Like I was like, now I'm having too much fun.
Right.
Right. You can't do that. Don't ever do that again, guys. Give people a guide. Hey, do this much.
Right.
But you can't just tell a 20-some-odd-year-old to do whatever he wants. That's insane, right? We end up partying with the guests in there.
Right. A little too hard.
In their condos that are on property. So no.
Right.
Yeah. You guys gotta keep us on a leash. But that was my first time where I was like, how do I say this? Like going against authority,
right,
and rules and
and
stuff
you
like
liked
that.
it.
Yeah, but not from that. It's like they started messing with our the way our tips were being dealt.
Oh, we'll get into that.
Yeah, they started messing with the way our tips are, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because an ex-girlfriend that I had, her brother put me onto when I was in high school, put me onto Rage Against the Machine.
Love Rage.
And maybe there's something in the back of my head that's just fuck authority.
Right.
Right? Or don't take advantage of us.
Right.
Where the moment I feel that thing in my brain, I'm like, oh, I'm getting taken advantage of. Oh, you're gonna hear it. And I don't have that filter. It's tough. It's cost me way too many jobs. It's cost me way too many, it's cost me a ton of hard shit, but I'm happy where I'm at now because I stood my ground.
Right.
And I maybe at the Yacht and Country Club, I staged the walkout.
Right. Possibly.
And we were outside with signs.
Oh, so you just fucking
went
all out.
Like
right?
a little baby revolution.
Right.
And I'm sorry guys that I got us all fired. I got us all fired. Everybody who decided to come do that with me, we all got fired.
So, a couple episodes ago, I had Derek Stillman on, and we touched a period of time. How did you wind up, speaking of renegades, how did you wind up working with Gabe and Elad at the famous, one of the coolest bars of all time, Broken Shaker?
I never heard of that place.
I heard that place sucks. Sucks.
Shaker life, baby. That place is, oh my God, that place has such a big special part of my heart, man.
I think it does for everybody, including the community. I think that, there was also a moment in time that, it was groundbreaking. And, do I think we'll have anything like that again? I
God, I
don't
hope,
know.
dude.
I hope
'Cause
so. I don't know, but very
again,
cool.
since I'm a sucker for nostalgia, I think that feeling that I had at the Shaker
Right.
is something that I will forever chase. Right.
Chasing the dragon.
That's my chasing the dragon right there.
Right.
Right. That's my heroine, dude, because it was such a beautiful time at a time where I was broke.
Right.
I mean, whew, you know, and I'd never been so happy being broke. Right. We went through tough shit, man. And when I talked about Fridays and watching community and watching
Yep.
people become a family, right? I didn't get to the point where I became an adult and a man over there where I can really, really be
Right.
part of that. Right? I was a kid. I was a jit, right? I was doing kid things. But here I was an adult, and I got the opportunity through a good friend, Mo Lacayo, and he gave me the recommendation to go. After I used to run the local for him,
Right.
he gave me the recommendation to go over there
Local
and
was
grow.
classic.
Thank you, dude. The local was a badass spot in
Yep.
in Coral Gables,
Right.
man. We really did it big out there. Gastropub. That's where I learned all like that world.
Right.
The reason why I got to the Shaker to begin with, right, and why I respected it so much and why I wanted to be part of that team was because of how much I learned at the local, and because that was at the local, it was the first time in my career where mentors showed up, where people showed up because they cared about your growth, because they care about the community, right? They wanted the community to get better, including people like Mo, right? But Mo's my boss. So
Right.
When your boss tells you shit, you're not trying to listen to.
Right.
Sorry, Mo. I love you to death. Now I listen to whatever you say.
Shout out to Mo.
Yeah. Right. But before, like, I wasn't trying to listen to these people. Right. But there's other people that would show up, right? The Gabe Urrutia, Marita Leonard.
Oh, dude, shout out to Gabe, man.
I love that
He's
guy,
he's
dude.
another fucking renegade in our community.
Yeah, absolutely,
you know?
man. Alex Alfonso, Marita Leonard, right? You had these, for me, these were these three key figures that
Right.
would show up to that place.
Right.
And they would talk to me like a human being, and they would talk to me about my value. Again, mentors. Hey, you have a gift. You have something here that you could just chill and talk to people and hang out, and create an experience. And you don't even know you're doing that. And I go, you're right. I just think my brain was just, you're at work, have a good time.
Right.
Like why be here all upset and stuff? The point is to make money. But if I'm going to make money, it's not in my control.
Right.
I didn't connect until speaking to people like that. The happier I am and the more engaging I am, the bigger that tip's going to be anyway.
Yeah.
And it kind of started like hitting me. Oh shit.
Look, as a business owner, I'll be real with you. Running my brokerage takes all my time. And in Miami, if you're not showing up online or on social media, you just don't exist. That's why I've worked with Sage Marketing Studios from the very beginning. Website, social, even this podcast. They're the ones behind the camera. Building strategy, keeping it consistent, and making sure my brand looks like it actually belongs in the city. So just a tip. Stop having your cousin post blurry iPhone pics once every 3 months. Hit up Sage Marketing Studios. You can find them on Instagram at socialmedia.sage and tell them Felix sent you.
In your opinion, what do you think made the Broken Shaker just such a legacy? Like, what made it so special for people that don't know or didn't have a chance or didn't live here back when the Shaker was around?
It was the, how do I word it?
I mean, listen, obviously it was the hostile feel, so it felt a little grungy. Right. You had the outdoors, you had every drink I've ever had there was on point. They did not, no matter how busy or crowded it got, every drink was always on point.
That's Gabe and Alad's fault. Those
Right.
guys were terrorists.
Right.
When it came to like making sure that you were doing your shit right. Yep. Quick thing about Gabe, how I wanted to murder him. I made an old fashioned.
Yep.
He came by, he tasted it. He was like, I need you to make it again. And you're like, you're deep. I'm like, what are you doing?
Right.
Right? I was like, what do you mean? I made this to the exact spec. I measure everything. No, I'm not going to make that again. Right? He goes, I need you to make that again. No, dude. No, I have all these tickets, all this stuff. He goes, oh, you can't sell that. You need to make it again. I was like, I wanted to jump over that fucking service bar. Right? But what he was showing me was to chase perfection.
Right.
Right? And there was something in his palate that was discerning that my palate didn't discern. Right? A little bit here or a lot more there, right, will change something. Even if you're measuring stuff out, maybe you're in a hurry. Just because you measured, did I taste it? I learned that later. I've always, I've gone back to him and I was like, hey, I appreciate how hard you were on me because I didn't realize that you were trying to make me better.
Right.
Right. You know, again, you're lost in your own little world, your own little stresses, your family, your life, your bills, right? You're always here, right?
Right.
Most of us are always here, not even realizing that the guy that's right next to you, who's annoying the shit out of you and stressing you out, right? And making you mad, he's doing that to make you better.
Right.
He's doing that because he cares. Because if not, he could have been like, hey, get rid of this guy. But he could just not
Care.
even take the time
Right.
to bust my balls or whatever, right? And I'll always thank him for taking the time to bust my balls and make me better. And that's why like that place did so well. And but not just the drinks, right? Because I think any asshole with some skill can shake, stir, measure, follow a recipe, right? They were good at picking people that drank the Kool-Aid, that wanted to be part of a community that made other people that were there happy, that wanted to be part of a community that wanted to have a good time, that wanted to showcase fun. Like, you didn't go to the Shaker because the drinks were good. That's bullshit.
Right.
The drinks were good.
Right.
You went to the Shaker because it was a
vibe.
dope
It was a
place to
fucking
be.
vibe. It was a vibe.
dope spot to be
Right.
at, man. Like, you were there hanging out, poolside. You got a little garden over here, right? Before 27 was built, that cool empty ass
That
house,
made it even
right?
cooler,
But like
yeah.
everything, the lighting, like he was so they both of them were so specific about the way the place had to feel, which that's where I learned.
Right.
Right now, I'm the terrorist at work. Like, no, this light needs to be here. No, it needs to be dimmer. This needs to be this way, right? Because it needs to feel a certain way, right? You guys don't see it because, and I understand
Right.
that they're in their world. They're worried about the things that they're worried about, and that it makes a ton of sense because I know that I can communicate with my team better, right? But these guys were great at choosing their team. They brought, I mean, some of the baddest motherfuckers, man. You know, Eddie Fuentes, Josh Alberstein, Virginia.
Christine, she came in later, right? Christine?
Oh, Christine Wiseman.
Yeah.
But again, but that's when they expanded.
Right.
Right? Again, they were still good at finding dope talent that matched their
way they see it.
their vibe,
Right.
their shit, right? Like their brand.
And I mean, obviously, you probably saw the difference in the crowd compared to the other places you worked. Like the people that were, I remember people that went to Shaker, they went to Shaker every week. It wasn't like,
Yeah, that's crazy. God, I wish I didn't have a job. I didn't own a place sometimes so I could go out because the Shaker, we were there every week.
Right.
And what's nuts is we created a place, dude, that, and I say we because it was the people there.
Right.
Right. You know, Gabe and Alad were like, the composers, right? But us playing our instruments, right, together,
Yep.
they got the right artists, they got the right musicians, they got the right players and put them in their key places. And we really made that spot because we believed in that spot. So that's what they were really good at, getting us to believe in their vision, right? I think,
What year were you there?
was it 2014? Yeah, 2013, 2014, right? 2012 or some shit.
Right.
Yeah.
How many years were you there for?
3. Because we opened up 27 together. So yeah, we opened up 27.
27 was great. I think people don't give 27 enough credit for, being a little house connected to a hostel, serving Middle Eastern food. I remember the garden. Like, dude, they really had a vision for it.
So that spot, right, that also holds a real special place in my heart. The Shaker itself, right? I
Yep.
don't know if you know. I mean, you've been to Miami, forever and a
Yeah,
day.
of course.
Remember what that area was? That area wasn't shit. There was nothing there.
Zero.
There was nothing in that
Right.
area. There was no Faina. There was no what's that spot where the addition?
Yeah, there was definitely no Faina
Yeah,
district. Yeah.
The addition
Right.
was abandoned.
Right.
Right. There was
Yeah,
crazy
like
homeless people in there.
hotels like the Cadillac and like it was
you're right. There was there's
2,
Section 8
3-star
there's
hotels.
Section 8
Right.
housing on that block.
Right.
These guys had a vision, saw a spot, and made it. That whole area, in my opinion, pops off the way it does because Gabe and Alad had a vision.
Right.
And they saw something that nobody else saw. And then they worked at it because these assholes were still going to work as bartenders
Right.
somewhere else while owning that spot.
Right.
Right? Because that's what ownership is. These guys are making a sacrifice. These guys were at will call working. Like they were doing their stuff in order to facilitate their dream, to make it happen.
I mean, listen, obviously that was our neighborhood bar. You had the Deuce, you had a bunch of great classical bars. What do you think happened to the neighborhood bar? Why are we losing all the neighborhood bars?
social media. No, I'm just sorry. Yeah, I mean, I joke, but it's truth and jest, right? It's social media because people see Miami and they think whatever they saw on social media, whatever the social media version of Miami is, right? Like the boats, the pulling up to the pulling up to the club in a boat or pulling up to the club restaurants, right? The loud music, the your food being delivered with fucking confetti and a bunch of shit like that, right? Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has a time and experience or whatever, right? But we got flooded with that's what the thing is that makes money.
Right.
And when people see something that works, everybody starts copying it and whatever, right? And I don't think the neighborhood bar honestly went anywhere. I think it just kind of took a step back because, in my opinion, the neighborhood bar, those are the spots that are still around.
Right.
This is going nowhere.
Correct. I hope
right?
So.
Yeah. I mean, if it does, well, that blows, dude. But like,
you know what I mean? But like, I remember like at one time, I remember like all the Finnegans started closing. You know, they're just all of a sudden a cutback on all these iconic places, you know, whether it was on Lincoln Road, whether it was Calle Ocho, whether it was, you know, Collins Avenue, you know, it just, do you think the crowd just wanted something different? Because me, listen, I don't, you know, once in a blue moon, I don't mind vibe dining. I don't mind, you know, a party. I don't mind. But also once in a while, man, I do just want a fucking
be in a shot with your people where you can talk your shit.
Shot of Jameson, Stella, and like.
So I think where it went, I think the neighborhood bar, it evolved. Right? It went from, you know, Finnegan's had like 15 spots.
I remember,
right?
yeah. Cool. On the river.
Cool. But then it evolved from, we're at the Shaker, right? And the Shaker was basically a neighborhood spot.
Right.
It was a destination, in my opinion, right? Because nobody from the neighborhood was actually coming to the Shaker.
Right.
Nobody from that neighborhood was coming to the Shaker. But we were coming out of our way. I lived, you know, on this side of the bridge. And I would, to get me to still to this day, to get me to go to Miami Beach is pulling teeth. I would happily pull this tooth out to go to the fucking Shaker when I was younger, right? And so we would go, and that was a dope destination spot because you felt so homey and comfortable. But what I'm saying is those Finnegans and those spots that left, right, they evolved into the Mama Trieds, into the
Blackbirds.
the Blackbird, what's that other spot? Sweet
Boy,
Liberty, Lost Boy, right? What's that dope spot right now in on the beach off of Alton?
Brothers Keeper.
Eso mismo, dude, Brothers Keeper. Yo, shout out to that place. That place is fire, right? It evolved into that because I think people wanted more of that.
Right.
They wanted, like, it's similar concepts, but they all have their own identity, right? Dive-ish or like a 5-star dive style, right? Like
mixology specific, mixology
like,
focus.
yo, you want to go someplace that you know, and not for nothing, you know, places like the Finnegans or the Chili's or the whatever, right? That's not what those bartenders are doing, right? All this stuff is pre-made, whatever. The ingredients are. They wanted to go to some place where it's not pretentious, but still quality. They wanted to be able to go, oh, cool. I want to have a fucking Don Fulano or Fortaleza with my fucking High Life. Right? I want to go to a place where they know how to make a Vesper. And that was okay. But I also want to be in a place where I can take over the jukebox and play all my shitty music.
Right. All our 90s fucking hip hop.
Yeah, and whatever, right? But they just wanted a place to be more comfortable. Right. And I think that's kind of what happened. That a lot of those other neighborhood bars felt more corporate or started feeling more corporate. And people they wanted a place, well, again, they wanted a Cheers. There's only one Cheers, right?
Back then, when you were working at the Shaker, what's some of the places that you liked back then? Like you know what I mean? Like if you weren't working, like, you know, obviously.
Places not around, which I loved. And I hope you guys open
let's
soon.
do the rest in peace. Like, what were Will's RIP places?
Oh, my God. Jada Cole's.
Yep.
I used to leave my job at 2, 3 in the morning from the Gables, and the only spot that was open, and it wasn't pretentious, and it was cool. It was the first time I had Espolón, right? It's where I started drinking tequila. Right? I was like, oh shit, tequila could taste good, right?
Awesome. Not Jose Cuervo go like
no. That was
Reposado.
No. Oh my God, we all have that fucking story. That Jose Cuervo Gold. I don't know how you guys did it, but everybody I know
Nobody
has
did not have a hangover.
has RIP'd themselves
Right.
with that shit.
Were you a big Purdy Lounge guy?
Come on, man. Aaron, Epstein, Bam Potts, right? Paige. Yo, these people were, oh my God, Purdy Lounge. Purdy Lounge, you run into celebrities in there.
I think people to this day are pissed.
They should be.
They think it ruined Sunset Harbor.
I believe so.
Like, yeah, you got, the Barry's boot camps, and you got a couple of cool, coffee shops. Obviously, you got Ukali. We love Ukali. But, like, if that 4 a.m. vibe, like, it just...
That place was so fun to go to. And it was weird, right? Because they figured out how to be like a club and a neighborhood spot.
Right.
And I think that's also something, right? Like, damn, I stole from all of you guys.
Right.
I stole so many ideas from all the places that I love. It's nostalgia at the end of the day. I wanted a house party on the weekends.
Right.
But you could fucking just chill during the week. Or even if you showed up, like on Chocolate Sundays, it's in there, right? Right, slow wine, fast wine. We're all doing our shit, right? During the Purdy Lounge days, you could still be part of the party and just what was it? Your Happy Meal?
Yeah.
Right? What was that? A Jaeger and a shot or something? That's
bro, I used to go through Jaeger. Like, that was my poison. I would go through bottles of that stuff.
I don't have good friends. Y'all let me drink that shit. That's
it's trouble, bro. You're not drinking Jaeger and not getting into trouble.
That's crazy, dude.
We've all made really poor decisions.
I may have woken up half naked in my car at Tobacco Road once.
Oh, Tobacco Road.
From drinking fake Jaeger.
That was another great one, huh?
Yeah,
Tobacco Road.
Look, maybe because you're in, right? You're in the background. Like when people are selling and shit. You know a little bit of a little bit.
A little bit.
Why'd they get rid of the building? They had the whole entire block still.
Why?
Were they just mad at them? Like, why did they get rid of the actual building of Tobacco Road?
Because that land is just too valuable. And
yeah, but they still have the whole fucking block. There's still, Kush,
right?
Tobacco Road by Kush, which Matt.
That's our boy, Professor Kush, bro. He's Professor Kush now.
I consider that man a mentor. He's
coming on the show, man.
He's always shout out to him. He's always open to teaching or talking to one of us who hadn't done the shit that he's done.
Yep.
Right?
He's been in it.
That guy is a wealth of knowledge.
Yep.
So, any of you guys in my position or in a position to one day want to horribly ruin your life and get in my position, talk to Matt.
Right.
Send him an email. Send him a message, right? Show him his flowers because that guy always helps out.
But I think, to get back to your question, I also think that when they were officially making Brickle evolve, that wasn't kind of part of the plan. That scene, those people, the food trucks, I don't think that's what they wanted. They wanted to step it up and be bougie. And, I think all of that is just getting completely priced out,
I think people don't want that shit. People do not want that shit.
I don't think it's
people
whether
want
or not,
a place where they can kick their feet up,
but
man.
I think that's the problem. In Brickle, when you're paying $250, $300 a foot, it's not about what you like. It's about who can pay the rent. It's a different fucking town. It's one of the few things that really piss me off. Because listen, I still like to go out and have fun. I'm happy that everybody's coming into Miami and making real money, developing, but then there's nowhere to go unless you're like a Cheesecake Factory, or there's just nothing cool. Because now the question these guys ask is, before they bring in, when I go to a developer, I'm like, hey, I got a really cool concept, but it's not, I need somebody that's going to do $7 million in sales before they even, because they're like, I need a good rent here. I bought the land at this much. I need someone who's good. And I'm like, do you fucking guys know what $7 million in sales is? Like, people throw these numbers around because it's Miami.
I think it's because they don't know. Really, it's the highest form of ignorance.
Right.
I don't know. I've seen something on TV, or I've seen something on fucking Google, or I've seen something on, whatever, right? Like that list that they just put out about, like, we got Mila and Joe's, right? Yeah, shout out, shout out on the top 3, right? At least Miami's on the top 3 of something.
I'm gonna talk to you about something right now.
Right, but they see that shit. Oh, $51 million, bro. You know what it takes to do that shit that they did anyway?
Right.
How much? That's crazy. That's crazy. That expectation, $7 million. You know what it takes to put in $7 million?
Yeah.
Into a place?
It's real, bro. That shit is. But since you touched the subject, I want your opinion about it. Because I know I'm gonna get into trouble for saying this. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I love Joe's. I'm a big Joe's fan. They
Fire.
win.
Fried chicken, baby.
They win that #1 spot usually every year.
Fried chicken.
This year, they actually don't like to be on the list. They're like, I don't want to fucking show Uncle Sam what we're baking. Like, they try like not to be on the list. But, you know, what got to me a little bit was, and I know that you know about this and we've spoken about this earlier, is I don't know if some of those places that got named included the service charge. Because if the service charge revenue is part of that number, I don't know if they're #1 anymore. I don't know if Mila makes #1 if you include the memberships and the service charge, because now you're taking away, over 20% of your revenue.
That's crazy.
And-
I just thought about as you talking. Oh shit, my brain is blowing up.
And then, then you have to go through some of the other restaurants, and then it turns into who's really #1. Now, again, I could be completely wrong, and Mila would be like, listen, no, that's our sales, revenue, and service charge does not factor in. I mean, memberships and revenue, and the service charge don't factor in. But if I'm right, that top 100 list with all the service charges and things like that, it gets flipped upside down.
Yo, show me that toast report.
Right.
Show me that toast report. Yo, I'm such a
Gabby,
hater.
Gabby,
I'm such a
coming
hater.
for that, right? I'm
such a
coming for
hater.
that, Gabby. I'm
I'm
coming
such
for
a
that
hater.
list.
Yeah, I usually give everybody the benefit of the doubt, but once the thing about information and science is when you hear new information, baby, you
Right.
gotta think differently.
But that's
I am now gonna look at all these lists and be like, service charge.
Yeah, like, hey, did they include service charge in that? Because
Service
listen,
charge.
some people really want to be on that list, and like, I get it. It's it shows, hey, I made it, I'm great, this and that. But listen, if you are going to call a spade, like, are all those numbers, in it?
That's great. I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah.
Hey, listen, I know I'm going to get so
you know
much
how I
shit
feel
for
about
this.
that shit
Right.
too. You know how I feel about that shit,
Right.
man. There's a lot of places that do not use that thing, in my opinion.
Yep.
Ethically would be the word
Right.
I would choose. Correctly, cool. It's the law's the law.
Right.
Use it however you want, right? I go, but if I'm going to essentially trick my guest into
Right.
thinking that these people are being tipped,
Right.
and then I don't take care of my team,
Right.
right? And they have to claw and bitch and moan and try to find another overtip
Yep.
from the guest.
Right.
That's bogus. Like, I'm not trying to, I want the person to come back,
Right.
right? I want the guest to come back, right? I don't want them to feel guilty that I'm not paying my bartender enough.
Right.
No, that doesn't fly with me. That just does not fly with me. It's crazy. Like the way we do it, again, it's our way, right? I believe it's the right way, but whatever. It goes to the entire team.
Yeah.
It goes to them.
100%.
We can't touch that. For
Right.
what? Right?
Or at least, listen, at least staff needs to know where it goes. Okay, listen, it doesn't go to me 100%. Okay, that's great. Where does that money go?
Oh, that should be very transparent from the beginning.
Why isn't it transparent? Like, a person gets hired. Like, why can't they be like, hey, listen, X percentage gets take out, it goes to boom, 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 boom. And you're like, okay, listen, got it.
Like,
You know what I mean?
exactly. Like, at the end of the day, you're giving the information,
Right.
and I get to say, "Oh, cool, let's do this," or
Right.
I get to say, "Nah, I don't like this," right? And then I get to apply somewhere
Right.
else.
And again, I've been to places where I'll ask, hey, where does the service charge go? And they're very transparent. They're like, 5% goes to the bar back, 7% goes to here, 8% goes to, I'm like, all right, cool. Or some places, even like Carbone, I was, I got a bill, I got the service charge. And, I was like, fuck it, now I got to ask this guy, like, sir, is this service charge a tip? And he's like, yes, sir, that is 100%. You do not need to tip on top of that. I'm like,
Fire Carbone.
I
Okay, let's
fucking
go.
love that. Everybody should do that,
Yeah. Because I do think, it's not part of the culture.
Right.
Right. I saw some guy, I forgot who this Instagram person is, right? But he was showing like people when they do that stupid shit with the ice.
Yep.
Right. And like, oh look,
Right.
the volume goes down or
Right.
whatever. I was like, I commented on that and I said, those people are the reason why there's a 20% tip for most places.
Right.
Because that ignorance is crazy to me. Right. That piece of ice costs about, the cost of actually
Right.
that ice is like $2 for a cube of ice, right? Alone.
Yep.
Right. But they just don't understand it. And I understand their logic, right? But they don't understand how much time, work, effort, and
Energy,
cost
right.
goes into, making this thing.
Right.
And then you're not getting charged for that little bit of juice. You're getting charged for the fact that dope music is playing.
Right.
You're getting charged for the fact that somebody keeps on coming up to you and making sure that you're never thirsty, that you're good, that you're fed, that you're happy, that your napkin is being folded, right? Like you're being catered to.
Right. Now, do I
so much, all that shit goes into those costs.
right
Man.
now? Do I think that deserves to be $40 a drink? I don't know. Like,
No, tampoco, because that's rent, and that's your fault, owner, for going to a place that has, what do you say, $200 a square foot?
Yep, 250, 300.
How big is the place, dude? 1,000 square
At
feet?
that point,
that's it. That's a baby bar, dude. Like, no.
I mean, listen, I won't name the restaurant, but there was a restaurant recently available, like on Lincoln Road, that was like 5,000 square feet. If I gave you the place for free, the cams alone are $93 a foot. So you're at like, whatever, $35,000 just in cams. So before $1 of rent even starts, Now I know they're trying to bring Lincoln back, and you know what? People like you hate on Lincoln. I'm like, no, I just wouldn't advise any client to pay over $200 a foot in rent. It's just, it's hard enough to be in the business right now with all the rising costs, but to pay that kind of number. And again, listen, shout out to all the guys and all the landlords and all the developers who really are trying to bring Lincoln Road back, and I really do hope they do. It's tough, man.
But what do these motherfuckers gain from not making it more approachable? Right? It's like what we spoke before, right? The Chili's, the Fridays, right? The value, right? Something that we saw this year is we brought down prices, and we're making more,
right? Like Joe's, same thing. Joe's lowered a couple. The number 3, whatever it is, restaurant in the country, will with asterisks,
right?
When they could actually raise the price with all the people and the fan base, and they lowered prices, I was fucking shocked,
And because more bank, not only more bank, you could come back again,
right?
You're like, damn, I get to go to Joe's.
You go to Joe's,
and you feel good. You have a Joe's.
Great
that's not a spot that's like, all right, you want to dress up a little bit going to Joe's,
right? So I remember first time I spoke to you, it was COVID. Oof. We just started the Miami Restaurant Employee Relief Fund with Brad Kilgore, Michael Schwartz, Zach the Baker, Michelle Bernstein. And you were such a pivotal part during COVID. You reshared everybody. You raised awareness. We got checks out to people. I remember I had a broken arm from a car accident. Oof. That literally I was writing in a cast checks to every employee, every restaurant, to help raise the community. And, you were so vocal, and you were just like, tell me about like what you were doing exactly at that time, what you thought was going to happen. And
man, so during that time,
give me lockdown, give me the day of lockdown. Like, what the fuck?
Oh man, I just got the chills thinking about the day of lockdown. Right. That was such a rough day. You ever watched The Lion King?
Yep, of course.
Right. Remember when Simba is in the middle of that canyon and all these fucking wildebeest are coming? Right. That's what, and his face, like, shit. That's what that felt like. Like, I just stopped. Your entire body kind of drops, and you're like, what do you mean we have to close? Right.
Especially in our industry where we eat what we kill.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. 100%, man. And in the beginning, there was like the glimmer of hope because they said 2 weeks. Right. It was after those 2 weeks where like the realization set in, like, oh, this is real. This is a big deal. The world stopped. And our brains can't really understand that concept. Right. What do you mean everything is closed? Everything, everywhere, right? It was a ghost town. Like, you couldn't do anything. But what was very confusing was that we weren't allowed to open. But if you had food, you were allowed to open.
Right.
The rules that they came up with,
there was no game plan.
They didn't make sense. Right.
Looking back now, you're like, the fuck?
The distance makes sense to me. The
outdoors,
mask, outdoor, like I got ways to protect yourself, right? But if you're telling me that these same people can't go to a bar, or they can't go to Publix, or they can't go to Walmart, or they can't just do normal everyday activities, but just with less people in there,
or eating and drinking in a bar with a mask,
Yeah. Right. So like, all right, you can go to a restaurant and eat and drink, but you can't just go hang out at the bar with friends, cool, 5-6 feet away. And if, your capacity has to be cut by half, fine, right? I'll deal with it. But like, food makes you safe.
Right.
Like, you're more safe now that you have a burger. Like, my brain couldn't. So so we were doing shit behind the scenes.
Right.
We had a little speakeasy.
Right.
Right. God, I hate when people call their places speakeasies. If you
Say
know
that
about
word.
it, it's not a speakeasy, guys.
And the
but,
shit wasn't easy.
But yeah, but we did. So what we did was we had a little light inside.
Yep.
One of my boys hanging out outside of the bar.
Look out.
Right. Yeah. And if everything was clear, the light was green. If not, he'd flick and it was red that we had inside. And we would send out messages with code words, and then to each specific person.
Right.
Cool. They can come in. They can come in. What? Nah, I don't know. Cool. And when we would get checked, we would have our guests pick up brooms, mops. We had paint buckets because we were painting the ceiling.
Right.
Right. Because you were allowed to go to work.
Right.
You just weren't allowed to open. Right. To be open. So I had my team helping me paint and do little repairs. Right. So like that they can get their hours in. But when they would come in to check in on us, there would be like 12 people in there. The rest of the guests were stuffed in the fucking walk-in.
Right.
And they're just painting.
Right.
Pretending to paint, grabbing the mop. Hey, yeah, these guys are just helping us with fixtures.
Right.
We all work here. Thank you. Have a nice day.
And again,
They were
you guys obviously did that out of necessity because you're like, it's either that or we starve. But
That's exactly why we did it. Because you have a team of 20 employees. And let's be honest, bartenders aren't the best with their money.
Right.
It's something that I hope to change and mentor these guys about. But no, especially you just shut down the entire city,
Right.
the entire world, right? And we needed to find a creative way
Right.
to get around these rules.
Yeah.
To get around these rules, it didn't make sense. We had to survive.
Right. Well, I mean,
Rent still has to get paid.
Right.
On top of that,
Right.
that was crazy. There was not one landlord that your own personal landlord was like, I still got to get paid.
Right.
Then the landlord for the bar, yeah, he didn't give a shit.
Yeah. There's no COVID clauses
what?
back then.
Yeah,
there
yeah,
was
there-
no
there was-
active guide.
There was none of
right.
that stuff. That's too bad. You're still gonna have to. It's the first.
Right.
Where you at?
I remember, like, even when we were writing the checks for bartenders and barbacks, and some of them were thanking me. They're like, I don't have diapers for my kids. Like, it was, dude, shit got scary, man.
It was so scary, but the way that the community came together,
Yes.
and the community leaders came together to take care of one another, to feed one another. My boy Eddie Fuentes over at Grails was
Yep.
feeding the community.
That's right.
They had food. They had food for
right.
the bartenders, right? For the service industry.
Yep.
Because we had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
The brands. Crazy shit like, hey, put a video of you making a cocktail using our brand.
Right. Online.
Online.
Right.
We'll send you $200.
Yep.
What?
Right.
Well, that got you. And that was also especially before rent was,
I remember
$4,000 for a studio.
Well, I remember you did it. Stillman did it. Like there was, and the guys from like Ben Potts and they were doing it. I really, I kind of miss how the community kind of came together for that. It was great. It was, it really showed that the locals helping locals was a thing.
Absolutely, man. That entire cast of people that you just mentioned. Plus so many that, I'm sorry if I forget your name, but there were so many people that put in so much effort and work into making sure that their, the brother, sister, cousin,
The
friend.
USBG, remember
dude,
the
these guys-
Bartenders Guild and
these guys-
Gabe and everybody was chipping in.
These guys all did hard work to make sure that their community was taken care of.
Right.
And that's it's what I love so much
Right.
about.
You guys all you guys all pushed the liquor companies. Then liquor companies like we have to do something. Everybody started chipping in. It was I was really proud, of everybody in the hospitality industry. And it also created one of the greatest things ever since then, the chat group. I mean that it lost its way a little bit because now it's a little but it's still helping people,
It's still helping people, man.
Right.
So that's funny. That chat started because our boy Nader was moving in or just moved in with somebody, right? I forgot who, I think it was with Vero and somebody else. And he wanted to throw a pool party.
Right.
He was like, yo, this is a housewarming party. Come through, right? Don't pee in the pool.
Yep.
All right. He's Nader. That guy's always making jokes. And it started off as just, I think it was like 20 or some of us, right? In that chat, like, hey, come over.
Right.
Housewarming party. We're going to be in the pool. Let's enjoy our lives. Let's have some drinks. And it just, the way anything organic, it just this wildfire. Like, oh, hey, I have an event that's happening.
Right.
we all know each other. We're all taking care of each other. At the end of the day, hey, I have a brand ambassador gig or whatever. Didn't you want to do that stuff? Oh, that's really cool of you. Hey, thanks for letting me know. Because in this group of 20 people, right? And I think that's where I also understood what networking meant,
Right.
how valuable it was, right? Oh, well, Mr. 52 Chefs, I could do your pictures. Oh, shit. Hey, I could do this over here.
Right.
Hey, I can. And we just started helping each other out. And it became, again, like wildfire. 30 people, now what, 1,024 in a group chat?
That's crazy.
Right? We
Crazy.
kick some out, we bring
Right.
some in, we
Right.
kick some out, we bring some in.
Hey, you got to kick the haters out. And
Yeah, absolutely,
too many people selling shit. And
So, oh no, you're talking about the Miami restaurant
Right.
chat. I was talking about we have a bartender one.
oh, okay, got it.
So no, but the Miami restaurant
Yeah.
chat, another thing, thank you, dude. You helped me out a lot. I'm talking to Eddie. He put me on.
Really?
He put me onto that, right? During that time.
Well, during COVID.
During
Right.
COVID, right? And that is beautiful to
Right.
see. These are the guys.
Well,
Like I felt kind of cool going
Right.
in that motherfucker. Like,
Right.
because again, I was in the bartender chat, right?
Well,
Even though I was operating
Right.
and running, a very successful spot.
Right.
But when I got put into that chat, I'm like, oh, these guys. There's a lot of ball busting, which is hilarious. I
Right.
love that. But these guys really help each other out.
Well, because it was I was part of the original 10-15, and it was just about, hey, who needs help? What could we do? And everybody, and again, then the list grew to 100, 130, 140. Everybody literally just chipping in. Hey, who needs a waitress? Who needs a server? Who needs a bartender? It was really honestly just amazing.
And a lot the people there, what I love in that chat, a lot of the guys that are there look out for their teams. Right? Because some of the stuff, especially before, it was like, how can I help my team this? Not myself.
Right.
There's a ton of that. Hey, I need a server, I need a bartender, whatever, right? Hey, could you recommend a good person? Right? That's always gonna happen.
Right.
But you have this network.
Well, now it's like, don't
Bad.
hire this person, they stole.
Well, yeah.
Don't hire this person, he's a criminal. So, but you know what? You just saved a lot of mistakes. And I mean, that's great too,
Well, that's something that a lot of people in this industry, a lot of us don't do. We don't go back and check the records.
Right.
Because everything is done so fast, necessity, whatever, instead of taking the time
Right.
to really cultivate the shit that you need to do. But something like that, hey guys, I just looked at this resume, and you put it on that chat, you're gonna have a person that's probably walked across that resume or walked across that person or worked with that person that's gonna give you whatever good or a bad reference, all depending on what they did, right? But it's such a great tool, and it's such a it's so beautiful to see so many people who are technically competitors,
Right.
helping each other out.
Agreed.
Because the mindset in that fucking chat is a rising tide lifts all boats, right?
Right.
And no matter what, there's no hate on there. There's no trying to outdo each other.
No,
or some
listen,
shit. It's yo, why are you buying stools from this place
Right.
when this place has it for
Right.
like way cheaper?
Well, also, it was originally, you couldn't just get in, Now, listen, did it fall off a little bit? It's a little more selly now, but what I do like is like, hey, you're new in the Miami, you're new in the industry, you're opening a restaurant, you need to be part of this because we're going to help you. And so you know what? I mean, that's great, at least.
There's a ton of great advice.
Right.
There's a ton of great advice in there, just like anything else, right? Anything else will get cluttered with bullshit.
Right.
Like, I mean, you ever been in a work chat?
Right.
Right? This is supposed to be all work, right?
Right.
Like, this is supposed to be the thing, and there's, memes and dick pics and all types of stupid shit.
Right.
Right? You're like, oh my God, right? You have to filter through some of the, the bullshit that, hey, I'm selling this.
Right.
Oh, that's cool. Maybe I needed that.
Right.
Right? I could use those Cambros.
I can use those dick pics. I
Yeah,
mean,
I could use those dick. That sounds like a group chat.
So where did you wind up after COVID?
In what sense? What do you mean?
Like in terms of like getting your team, because again, I don't know if you lost any members of your team in terms of
Yeah, we had
people started moving and
Well, we had some guys that moved,
Right.
unfortunately, right? We had one of our guys, he couldn't depend on it, so he got some type of, I don't know, some type of COVID relief thing for school,
Right.
so that he could go to school, right? Some people they got out of this, industry, a few, not too many, because I think we have such a tight knit crew and we were all just taking care of
Right.
each other. Hey, you could stay at my place, or here I have extra food, or one of our boys, Adrian.
Yep.
He went nuts making like cocktail videos. So much so that he had so many
I
cocktails on
remember
deck.
that. Yeah.
He had so many cocktails on deck that he would just give them to the staff and be like, "Hey, post this."
Adrian was great though. Like Adrian did really good videos.
Adrian's amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, and he
I think
so-
I still have one of his original flyers from COVID.
some of his like some of these brands
Yep.
would tell you don't even need to make a video. Send us a cocktail and a picture. Right. And he was just he just went so fucking stir crazy in his house that he started sending it to the staff and be
Right.
like, okay, cool, use this one. All right, this one's been used. You can't use it again, right? Use this one, use this one, use this one. And he helped out the rest of the team. That's $200, $300 for a recipe.
That, I mean,
And it's what's great.
right.
While you're being harassed, right? Like these are the positive moments, right? Like us coming together, us having each other's back, us feeding each other, us making pasta for each other and
Right.
shit like that, right? And then you're at work and some guy comes in, like a SWAT team with fucking why do you have a bulletproof vest at a bar? Like, what do you? I'm not cooking children in the back.
Will, are we going there?
Yeah,
Are we
man.
going there, Will? Are we about
Yeah,
to get
yeah, yeah.
controversial?
Yeah, that's not controversial. That's bullshit.
All right. Well,
That's-
you know, then
That's crazy to even think that it's controversial to talk about. Like, hey, don't treat your tax-paying members of society like criminals for working.
I mean, me and
Future-
you know, I was lucky enough. I don't know if I was lucky enough, but I just happened to be at Double Luck when they got raided. Luckily, I don't give a fuck. So I had my phone out and I taped all of them, a SWAT team, 11 cars, cops fired, inspectors, all of it going in. And then me and you wound up meeting up in City Hall a couple days later, where you had some famous lines like, I quote, you know, why are they coming in? Are the drinks too good? You know, are babies cooking meth in the kitchen? Like,
Yeah, dude. Like, yo, like I was in handcuffs at one point.
right. Tell me about that. Like, you know, I mean, listen, if we're gonna be open about it, you know, like, what happened? Like, why how did the fuck did it get to that? Like,
I honestly don't understand the mentality of like, you know, I was in the military, right? I understand following orders.
Right.
I don't understand following orders that fuck with my ethics.
Right.
Right? Like I like to ask questions.
Right.
I like to know why. You're not just gonna tell me, hey, you know, go tackle that vieja over there.
Right.
Okay, can I know why?
Right.
You know, like I need to understand. Right? I'm not just gonna go do this and I'm getting sued or something. You know, I hurt this lady or whatever the case may be. Is she dangerous? Like, why are we like let's
Right.
have a little powwow.
how did they
before.
come in? How did they come into your place? Tell me about like the day, like first time you really saw it firsthand.
So they would come in and they weren't polite.
Right.
Right. So one of the things that we do with everybody is we say hospitality. Right.
Who came in
Hospitality.
first? The cops, the inspector? Who, you know, usually they have like either the cops come in first or fire will come in first, and then all of them are kind of hanging back.
You know what's crazy? And I want to make sure I remember this
Right.
right. More often than not, the cops were the cool ones, and that hardly ever happens.
Right. Because they,
You know,
they
shout out to my cops. I
Right.
love them, but you guys aren't known for being cool.
Right.
Right. But it was the code enforcement people,
Right.
and the marshals. They would come in.
What time did they come in? Because for some reason, they could do this in the morning. They can get all the paperwork. I mean, we live in an AI technology time right now where, you know, you could look permits and things up in seconds. But for some reason, these guys would show up at prime time dinner on a Friday, Saturday night.
Oh, they're showing up. So for us, prime time is midnight.
Right.
We're late night spot. We
Right.
close at 5 in the morning. Right. We were closing at 5 in, and they would show up at 11 p.m. midnight when there's it's packed. Right. There's a line outside.
And it's not like, you know, because I remember back in the day, it was like when, you know, I was a promoter and like our clubs would get raided. They're coming there checking underage IDs, you know?
Which I would be okay with
Right.
it, right? So they frame it with safety,
Right.
right? But the thing is, it should. Hey, awesome! Thank you very much for being here.
Sure.
How can I help
Right.
you? Right? That's our
Absolutely.
stance. That's
Right.
our stance, right? In the beginning, then afterwards, I'm like, yo, everybody, bring your phone out, right? I'm gonna talk to this guy however the fuck I want to talk to him
Right.
now, because they're not being kind,
Right.
And I was just kind of sick and tired of being treated like we're less than.
Right. So walk me through it. So like inspector came in.
And so inspector would come in, right? and he's like, management or who's in charge or whatever, right? But aggressive, right? We need to see your stuff.
Right.
Okay, well, okay, slow down, buddy. Why?
Right.
Like, what's happening? Right? Oh, we're doing a surprise inspection. I forgot what the fuck they called it. Do you remember what they called it? Yeah, or random. Randomly
Even though
selected.
we knew every single place they were going to hit on the
randomly
way. Right.
selected. Yeah,
Right.
I've been on an airplane with a huge beard.
Right.
Randomly selected
Right.
my ass.
Right.
Like they would come through randomly 4 times a month.
Yep.
Yo, you know how many accounts are there in Miami? Period. Like
Yep.
there's thousands of bars
Right.
and restaurants, right? And you're telling me I'm just so lucky that you keep on showing up to my spot 4 times, you keep on showing up to Baby Jane
Right.
4 times, you keep on showing up to Mama Tribe 4 times and ruining.
At least lie to me and be like, oh, I heard those underage kids. You know what I mean?
atmosphere,
Like,
yeah, dude. Yo, for real. I forgot what the name of their stupid ass operation was, right? But they weren't doing anything to help public safety.
Right.
They weren't saying you're over capacity or like, hey, make sure. And the things that they were checking, I would ask them afterwards, hey, why can't you check this at 3 p.m?
Right.
You checked this last week. I didn't check it. Some other guy checked it. I go, so you guys are incompetent? You guys don't trust each other?
Right.
You guys, so I'm not supposed to trust what this guy signed off? Oh, you didn't have your permit showing. Our permits, okay, fine. Let's unpack that. I didn't have my permit showing. Is that a safety issue?
Right.
Like, is there like I've not ever gone to a place, and I'm embedded in this industry, and walked into Chipotle, Sweet Greens, a bar, and gone, whoa. Yo, hey, I don't see any fucking permits. Should we be here? Well, not a day in my life. That was crazy. The things that they would attempt to justify, right? And I go, so how do we know if they're like, well, how do we know if they're current? I go, because it's 2020 and we all have phones and we can. It's called the internet.
Right. How come they're not busting Chuck E. Cheese like that?
Yeah, like, yo, you guys, that's that wild that you're telling me that you guys can't see our permits?
Right.
And I would ask them. I mean, yeah, we could see them. I go, so why would you ask me such a stupid question?
Right.
Permits are done once a year.
Right.
You came. This is the 4th time this month, or the 8th time in 3 months. Right?
So how did you wind up in cuffs? Like,
oh, because I talk.
it was just you being
because I
you?
talk back.
You being special?
And not just being special because that was the time where it was the COVID laws, right? Because this is after COVID, where they're still being fucking annoying.
Right.
But during the COVID time, it's like, oh, you've had X amount of people here. Maybe you needed 5 less because they would count the staff, apparently, right? So with the staff, and now you have too many people. You're opened. It was because we were still kicking people out. We were closing because remember we used to have like hard closes like at 10 p.m. or
last calls
or
and
midnight,
whatever it is, and then
and so you're in the bar industry. It's not. I'm not fucking the hospitality.
Right.
Fuck the bar. I'm in hospitality. I'm not gonna go. Hey, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Bye. Go home. I don't care.
You're not serving them. You're not even if they're hanging back for like whatever it is.
That's
right.
it. We tell them gently, hey guys, thank you very much. This is last call.
Right.
Right. I've never been. I hate last call. Everybody get the fuck up out of here. Like that's
right. Also, listen, people still have to ring out their tabs, and people still have.
That's it, right? But I want them to do that with a smile on their face, right? Not like, man, kicking me off, fuck them, because that affects my team.
Right.
Hey guys, thank you very much for coming. Please close out your tab. That's the hospitality portion of it. And people were still around, but they were closing. That's it. We were done. Right. We were already cleaning up. 5 minutes too long. We need to sit down and go and talk to me about the laws. And okay, I understand. Cool. Yep. Awesome. Yeah, I'll never close at 10:05 ever again.
Right.
Oh, we have to leave too? Yeah. The staff has to leave. I go, that's not a law, guy.
Right.
It's not. Tickets all the time for not enough space between people. Like they were just happy doing that.
Right.
There was no critical fucking thinking from these people to go, hey, look, I know this is kind of dumb.
Right.
Right. And it's I don't know if it's a hospitality thing or I just think a human nature thing. Hey guys, we're all in this together.
Right.
We are just following our orders, right? Could you not do this?
Right.
They would have gotten us to go, of fucking course. Hey, I understand. You're doing your job. We're talking to each other like human beings.
Right.
But when you're talking at me and you're treating me like I'm a criminal.
And they're giving you crazy violations that they don't realize how fucking like insane some of the stuff they gave violations for
bro, I'm
was.
not the governor is the governor, but shout out to that motherfucker for like canceling all those violations.
Right.
Because we got violation after violation for shit that I'm like, yo, you guys just made this up.
Right.
There's no, none of us know what we're doing here.
Right.
And it feels like you're picking on us
Right.
to the point where I just started getting vocal. And I was like, yo.
So let me see how my lawyer would phrase this. I heard, or I believe in my
Allegedly.
best opinion, that all of this was started from the whole ball and chain thing, that they couldn't pick on them specifically, so they had to make it out like they were breaking everybody else's balls. Do you think that's true?
Yeah. So I heard.
To your best opinion, to your best knowledge.
To my best knowledge, rumors and shit and people
Right.
talking, all right, that this specific operation came from the fact that they were busting these guys' balls, right? And I opened the ball and chain.
Right.
I love those guys. Those guys treated me well. Shout out to Bill Fuller, that guy, Zach.
Shout out to Bush,
Zach,
the Bush
thank you,
brothers.
Zach, for, he was always showing me a ton of love,
Right.
right? Really great dudes. And what, just because you throw a party for somebody who's
Running against you?
you?
Right.
Yo, what kind of a crazy, I don't know, communist bullshit is that? Like,
Right.
yo, okay, cool,
Right.
awesome. Throw a party somewhere else,
Right.
right? If that hurt your feelings that bad, go find somebody that you think is cool too, and then throw a party at their place,
Right.
Right? But you're just throwing a party.
But they
And
really
it-
hurt the industry. Like that whole...
Yo, they hurt the industry so much that I would have to think twice about things I post. I still post them,
Right.
right?
Obviously.
But I don't like that icky feeling,
Right.
right? Like, yo, this is for all its flaws, and this country has a ton of flaws. I love the beauty of the fact that, yo, I could just say my piece.
Right.
I could say my piece, and it'll affect my business. I understand that, right? With guests,
Right.
right? With my guests, right? But the fact that the government could come around and bully me because I said something,
Right.
is wild to me, right? Because I have an opinion on them not treating us fairly,
Right.
not treating us like human beings.
And it's not like you're on social media just saying something to fucking say it or just to
No,
argue
dude.
with somebody. Like you're in it, bro. You experienced it firsthand. You know?
Lewis, Baby Jane, they put his ass in cuffs too for what? Because serving food too late or whatever the case. I don't know, whatever dumb shit it was.
Right.
That again, yo, I didn't. This wasn't an assault.
Right.
I wasn't, again, back there, cutting coke and making crack. No, we were running a business so that we could all survive and pay our bills, right? And I don't know where in their brains they're like, oh, this is something that we should put you in handcuffs for,
Right.
and bully you for, and stress you out about, because you're gonna be on the wrong side of history,
Right.
That shit started again from what I know, right? I may not know much, but from what I've heard, it started with them being butthurt
Right.
about fucking Bill Fuller.
Right.
And then they're like, oh shit, wait, we can't do this.
We can't just keep rating
We
him.
can't just keep on doing it to him,
Right.
because somebody who was, had half a brain was
Right.
like, what if we did it to others?
Right.
What? Yeah. So let's make it look like not everybody, like this isn't specific to one person.
Right. But
Right?
obviously these guys all took orders from someone. There's at the end of the day, there's somebody to answer to.
Oh my God. And that sucks. It's as you grow up, you find out how the sausage is made.
Right.
Right. And it kind of takes the magic away. Because when you're a jit and you're a kid growing up, you're looking up to these people because of their titles.
Right.
Right? Commissioners and mayors and presidents and all. Oh wow, man, you must be like a good person.
Right.
You must, be highly educated. You must have you're an asshole.
Right.
Like you're going around bullying people for the benefit of you,
Right.
not for the benefit of us.
Right.
Go bully somebody for us. Fine. I get that. Championship for us.
Right.
Right? But don't the hospitality community for me is Miami.
Right. I agree.
Legit.
So obviously we all heard the news. Eileen Higgins won the mayor. Obviously one of her biggest stances is, cracking down on corruption. Again, it's an election year. I really hope she does it. What does the new mayor of Miami need to do to get shit into check?
Oh my God. Right. I hate politicians, dude. I don't
You just don't believe, because we always hear it, right?
I guess, I'm jaded, right?
Right.
I'm that girl that's been cheated on over and over again.
Right.
And I get it. Men ain't shit. That's how I feel about politicians,
Right.
right? They say the thing that you want to hear,
Right.
right, to get you into bed,
Sure.
right? And I hope right? That there's some type of action taken i- where where shit like that stops.
What are some of the things that you see that, you know, you're like, something needs to be done about this? Obviously, we know the raids. You know, obviously, we all got hit over the head by the county, and you know, with this 2% tax that, you know, restaurants are, you know, we're getting backdated $150,000 bills.
It happens to us.
What else do you like see? Like, what does the new mayor need to take care of?
It's a great question. What does a new mayor need to take care of?
How do we get our community back? Like, how do we get people excited again?
What I would like to see, right? What I would really like to see from these people is accountability, right? Have an honest conversation, right? With one of us in our community, right,
Right.
face to face, or fucking get in your pulpit and talk to the and talk to us, right? And what I would like to see is accountability. Hey guys, that's not what we do. We're not here to hurt probably the biggest industry, right? The hospitality industry.
It accounts for pretty much the majority of the income in the state. Like in Miami, 100%. You know, like it's we're the biggest export of you know, all the revenue comes from hospitality, hotels, bars, nightclubs, restaurants. You know, that's why people come here. You know, people come here for hospitality, for the restaurants, for the beach. I really don't think there's much aside from real estate and hospitality that they're, you know, depending on. You know, and knowing that, you know, obviously something needs to be done.
Yeah, what I really want to see from these people is accountability. I want accountability. I want to see them show us, right? Not just everybody. We all can talk a good game,
Right.
right? But show us how you're removing corruption as you're doing it,
Right.
right? A term that I learned in the Air Force, CYA, right? Cover your ass,
Right.
Awesome. You said you're going to get rid of corruption. Now I got to hold you to that, right? Don't say shit,
Right.
right? That's the part about politics that I hate, right? They'll say something, oh, eggs prices are coming down. Eggs prices aren't coming down. Stop that,
Right.
right? That sounded nice. Thank you for that.
Just like
hope.
coffee's not
Thank you
coming
for that
down.
hope. But
Right.
now I don't want to fuck with you because you're lying. Hey, I'm going to do my best to do this.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, fine. Yo, words have
Right.
meaning, have
Right.
intention in the shit that you say. But your system, your people, not your people, right? It's a new it's a new team that's coming in, right? But your people, the shit that you're taking over really hurt our industry.
Right.
There's no trust in it, right? Everything that we do now is like like us walking around on pins and needles and shit, so that we could do everything correctly,
Yep.
right? There needs to be more coming across the aisle and having honest, fair conversations and a ton of transparency, right? But I want to see, if you say that you want to get rid of corruption, right? You better show me how you're doing it,
Right.
right? Hey, we saw this in the budget. That's being what did fucking Billy say? Something like $16,000 table.
Right.
Yo, we're getting rid of shit like that.
Yep.
Right. I'm making sure that no $30,000 desk and whatever the case may be, and we're focusing on community projects, ways to help people with rent. Miami got so expensive after COVID
Right.
because all these animals came down here and thought it was the California Gold Rush.
Right.
And it wasn't. It was closed. And the rest of the world was closed. And this was the only place that was, acting like the Wild Wild West.
Right.
So, of course, there was money there at that time.
And it's like you have the top 1% of wealth coming in. And so that's the picture that a lot of people, paint, but they don't want to show that teachers and nurses and people just can't afford to live in Miami anymore.
Yeah, absolutely not, man. And that's what I want to see from their team, man. I want to see them talk to the little guy, because the guy before, he's there having conversations with Jeff Bezos and shit like that.
Right.
That's cool. And Jeff Bezos actually, that was a great conversation, because I'm dying laughing. Like, yo, why don't you just have AI make sure that your shit is I was like, wait, what? That was a great. That was like investing in your team, investing in your city,
Right.
right? Not in yourselves. Like these guys that are popping in, And what was that statistic? You were negative 100 grand and now you're positive X amount of mil.
Right.
Hey, yo, make your money.
Right.
But develop the city.
Well,
This city's behind.
And I think that's one of the problems that we're having. Multiple guests who've been on the show have mentioned that we're building and building and building, but the infrastructure hasn't been touched. I mean, look at where we are now. Look at the traffic in Brickell, and we're not even done building yet. Like, I mean, how much worse is it going to get? You know?
The Palmetto's still under construction? Since I got here in '87, Palmetto's been under construction.
Well, thank you again for enlightening us, man. Thank you for everything you do. It was really an honor to have you. But before you go, I need a little lightning round, little questionnaire. Every week we ask here on Just a Tip different categories. So today you're in the hot seat, and everybody wants to know, you being the fucking bartender's bartender,
Hey.
when you are off, where does the bartender's bartender like to go for a bar? Who do you think does it right? Local bar.
Oh, for a bar.
For a local bar. Who do you think does it right?
Damn, bars. Oh, that's the. Y'all gonna be mad at me.
Unless you
we're gonna do it. That's fine. That's fine.
All right.
I love, man.
Unless you want to go local restaurant.
we do
Local
bar.
operators.
We do local bar because I'm gonna do a little.
All right.
A little mix of them, right? But
because everybody's excited. But, everybody wants to know, like all the out of towners are like, where did the locals go? Like
Maculena, baby. That's first of all, that's my number one.
Maculena. Shout out to Mike.
I say that with my chest. I say that with my heart. Mike and Jackie. Shout out to you guys. I love that place. Right.
Why do you like it so much?
Oh my God. It's not to like. Well, the food, right?
Food is fantastic.
The food is fantastic. At the end of the day, there's no. That's not one of these places that I'm like, oh, just the experience. No, the food is
his spicy rig is off the chart.
Fire,
right?
Fire. Everything that guy makes
Yep.
is insane, right? The fucking Mac burger, the pizzas, all that stuff that he did before he had Barbucha,
right?
Too, right? Fire. So thank you for that, guys. But it's the way that I've felt treated at that place from like a decade back,
right?
When they were in that little spot, the playlist, fire. They got. Hands down, it's
just consistent.
I always said that if I ever wanted to be in food, I'd have to have a playlist like that, like
right,
or like a feeling, an atmosphere
right.
like they put together. The hominess, again, brother and sister working together.
Right, Jackie. Shout out to Jackie.
And she's always, she's there.
Right,
she's in the shit. Right, she's always been in the shit. They've always been in the shit. In that little ass kitchen that they had. Right, and the way they made you feel.
Right,
they never made you feel rushed, treated. The space looked beautiful. They just cared about what they did, right? And they made me feel, for lack of a better word, seen. I came by and it was like, good to see you again.
Right.
Like, yeah, and
they know your name. Like Cheers, everybody knows your name.
And you just you feel taken care of no matter what time you go, no matter who knows you, or even if they don't know you.
What do you go for number 2?
Ah, man. So
and again, no specific order.
But that's their bar program too, though, because Willito, who used to throw down back there,
right,
and their team now, that's where I go.
What's your drink of choice there?
Martinis.
Nice.
Martinis. I go there and I have a little bambini, a little back and forth, right? I go there to feel fancy.
Right.
Take my kids there, take my family there, like every, I've had, I don't know how many birthdays there.
Right.
Right. So I love those guys.
Number 2.
I love them too. So now we're talking bars though, right? So
yep.
that's bars, right? But that's just my number one spot in Miami. Hands down, period. I love
it.
So now we're talking bars. Sylvester,
absolutely.
Right. Again, Derek Stillman was part of that team.
Yes, he
before,
was, absolutely.
Right. Like, there's, he definitely left his mark on that place. You got
shout out to our boy. Shout out to our boy.
And Jelly Bean and Potts, right? I'm so happy, for Potts. He created a beautiful place. He created a spot over there that's for the neighborhood.
Right.
That's what it is for me. It's for the fucking neighborhood.
What do you love about it? Aside from the crew.
That's what,
because their music was always great.
Every place that I'm gonna name, it's about the people.
Right.
It has less to do with the drinks. They're all talented.
Right.
They all know what they're doing.
Right.
Right. It has everything to do with the people that are there and the feeling that they give you.
Right.
Right. They're all trained to make people feel at home.
Right.
Or I don't like saying feeling at home because you be at home if you want to feel at home. Feel unjudged.
I remember I used to love going to Gigi and then Sylvester. Remember Gigi was great.
Fire.
Gigi was fire.
Fire.
Yeah.
God, that place. R.I.P. Gigi's. That's one of those R.I.Ps.
Right.
Oh man, God, I miss that. That food was great.
Yeah.
And they stayed open late,
Yeah.
right after work.
All right, what do we got for number 3?
Oh man, Mama tried.
Mama tried, absolutely.
Mama tried again. I mean, I grew up in this industry with Mingo. His dad taught me a ton. He is a great leader, a great mentor. He was one of my managers, and you know, I learned a ton from them.
Yep.
But I love what those guys created over there. They still, you know, crush it. You know, they put a ton of hard work. You know, him, Tyler, they work really hard at creating a spot that people love to go to.
Right.
And it's a neighborhood spot. You could be there on the weekends and it's like this, people dancing, right? They got, you know, great DJs. And then you go during the week.
Right.
A little, you know, little
And
high
then,
life
right,
and a beer, dude.
right.
Yeah. A twisted, I think y'all have twisted tea, don't you? That's not funny.
What do we got for number 4?
Oh, man. Oh, number 4. Oh, Graham's Getaway. Yo, my bad, guys.
Ramps.
Yo, Graham's Getaway.
Shout out to our boy Adam.
Graham's Getaway. God, I love that place. It's a place that I wish I could go to more.
Right.
But I think I said this earlier. When you're in the shit, you're in the shit.
Right.
Right. But that's a place like Maculena that
Yep.
I'll go to.
Food is
kind of-
fantastic.
Well, I'll go to treat myself.
Right.
And the treat myself is the way the place looks.
Right.
How amazing every single
Ambiance.
bartender
Right.
is there, right?
And the staff.
Yeah, the staff, right? You know, that team is great, man. They just did a little pop up with us at the Dead Flamingo.
Yep.
So that team, that bar team.
I'm gonna miss
Yeah,
Gramps.
and
I'm gonna miss
fucking
Gramps
Nicole,
Norwood,
yeah.
though.
Oh my God! Of course, I'm gonna miss Gramps.
Right.
I would have said Gramps. They're gone. They're
Right.
leaving.
Right. R.I.P.
Y'all fucked up. Y'all would have been on the list. Y'all on the list.
That's it, bro.
But that sucks. I don't know why.
Right.
But you know, that's just kind of the way the world works. You know, missing places like Wood, missing places like Gramps. You know,
Right.
that whole area, that whole era was
great.
Was beautiful. It was beautiful, and it's really sad that I didn't get to go to Tropical Pizza.
You know what? I missed it too. I saw it on social yesterday. I was like, shit.
I'm so.
I was like, I would have gone there for one more slice.
Yeah, I wanted to go Monday or Tuesday. I don't know.
And what do we got for number 5?
Ooh.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
God, I'm yell that.
Flanagan.
That's the local spot. We go there.
You know what?
we
Can't
go
hate.
there-
That's what it is.
We go there so much.
But
we
that's.
go-
But
we
you know
go
what?
there so much.
It's part of the 305. It's part of the community.
It's-
It's a local. It's a local spot. You know.
Oh, my God, I can't believe you said that shit. No. But what I would say is Bar Kaiju.
Kaiju.
Because these are
Yes.
spots for me that, again, I would love to be at all the time.
Right.
Right? These are my 5 spots that, like, hey, where do you, like, you have finally time
Right.
off, Will, right? You gave yourself a break. Where would you want to go?
Right.
Yo, let's go visit these spots. Let's go see these spots. And I would go through every time.
Right.
Derek Summon's a genius. He really cares about everything that he does.
He's good. He's good.
And it's, you know, his team is amazing. And, you know,
Shout out to Derek, man.
he worked really hard to be where he's at.
Right. We're very
But-
excited about his new project, his Little River project. Also, man,
fire.
that's gonna be great.
He's gonna do amazing at
Yeah.
it, man. He's gonna do amazing at it. We saw that talent at the Shaker.
Right.
When he came from, what's that place? Pub Belly?
No, it
Yeah.
wasn't Pub Belly. It was.
He came from Pub Belly.
Was it Swine? No, was it Swine?
No, he worked at a place where he didn't have liquor, and he was making cocktails with like sake and shit like that.
This is before Sylvester, right?
This is before Sylvester. Yeah, this is before Sylvester. This is before the Shaker.
Right.
And this kid came in and he was like, "Oh, I'm growing mold to incorporate in drinks."
because I know
and these are different types of mold. And I'm like,
I think
You
he was
could
at
do
I think he was at Houston's.
"Oh, was he at Houston?"
Yeah, he
for a
was at
minute?
Houston. He was at Houston. We had a whole conversation about, you know, how that's the operational Bible. You know, that's the.
Yes, it is.
You know.
Yes, it is.
But you know, there was
Listen, that place is crazy consistent.
right.
So good every single
And
time.
you know, again, another subject that we're going to be getting into because it's very controversial. I mean, I heard, and I said this on Derek's episode, the reason why. Do you know why there's a Hillstone in Houston's?
No, does that have to do with money or
No,
calories or something?
calorie count.
Is that true?
That's what I've been told.
That's wild as hell.
That they created a whole nother company just not to.
Because if you have
this
X
is what
amount of
I heard.
Because if you have X amount of restaurants, you got
You
to
have
put
to
your
disclose
calorie
your
count.
calorie count.
That's wild.
And they're like, listen, hey, you know what? Like, and I said this to Derek. I was like, listen, You know, even if I knew that it was like 7,000 calories in the artichoke dip, if I had to choose, I'll still eat I'll still eat the artichoke dip.
And let's be real, these guys have money to do their market research, and it may have been something like, 9% of people are not gonna fuck with you if you.
Right.
And that's and when you're talking about a business that big,
Right.
that 9% is a
Especially
lot of money.
when every location crushes.
It's a lot of money, but that's crazy that those are rules that you would have to do anyway. How do you measure? How do you figure that shit out?
I mean, I don't know. All right. So, Will,
man.
listen, I love you, brother. We're going to
Thank
have
you
you
for
on
this,
again. Thank you so much for coming on. You really are the fucking man, and I bow down to you. And
Thank you, dude.
if you don't have yours, you got to get your I Know Will t-shirts. That's what makes you cool. And check him out at the Dead Flamingo.
Please,
and
please come
you know
through,
what?
man.
Because
Thank you, guys.
if I thought you were gonna say you still go to Dead Flamingo even when you're off, because
I live there. I live there, and I have a horrible hangover today, guys. I'm old. I shouldn't be drinking that way.
I think
I had too much fun at work.
I'm
Don't have fun at work, guys.
I'm pretty sure I called him at 10:30, and I'm pretty sure that he was still sleeping. So
I'm sweating right now, guys. I have such. It was worth it. We were out there with Happy Dad and Cisco Duran. Our guy Danny did a comedy show.
Yep.
And it was just everything, all the right pieces.
right, it
fell.
was just a good night.
It was just a good night.
Right.
And I drank too much seltzers, dude. I don't drink seltzers.
Should
I don't drink seltzers, dude. But I had a great time on my team, and I woke up with a happy hangover.
When in Rome, bro. When in Rome.
Yeah, dude. Hard hangover.
Well, I'll let you go back to sleep before you got to go back to work.
Now
And
back into it, baby. That's how you get through the hangover.
But dude, thank you for everything you do. Thank you for creating the magic. Thank you for being the guy. Thank you for being the spokesman. Thank you for leading by example, man. I'm really, honored to know you and, really consider you, a friend. So
Thank you, brother.
thank you for everything you do.
I got this industry's back, man. You guys, hey, ask me questions. If you have questions in this industry, please reach out to me. Reach out to me. I will do my best to help you answer it.
Done.
I don't want you to make the same dumb mistakes I made. Please.
Done.
Appreciate
My brother,
you, baby.
thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
And we're out.